Although not as much because I don't drink much, but
Nah, it's okay. It's what you do. It's the first week of football season, so honestly,
go
even if
G-Man.
you had like the Giants game up on the side, it just like gave me updates. If like Graham Gano gets a field goal, I'd appreciate that.
Wait, you want me to give you Giants game updates?
I don't know. I'm curious. I have Graham Gano on a lot of fantasy teams, so
Alright.
look, I'm just a little interested, So, anyway, let's talk about Pokemon. Hi everybody, welcome back to the PR Podcast. It's me and Brian. After week 1 of football, I'm stealing Brian away from the Giants game.
I'm so
but it's
sad.
okay.
Will help me.
And it's okay because we're gonna talk about Mons.
Yeah, that's fun. Woo-hoo.
Week 4 was a lot of fun. We had some fun gaming. I was on bye, and I also started my new job, so it's kind of a good thing that it lined up that way. But yeah, we will get into Adam and David first. And
what a legendary
this is
set.
a very funny start to the game because we see Diglett and we see Blaziken. And spoiler alert, Diglett wins this exchange.
The game is over.
And David is going to play a 5v6. And now it's a 5v5 because Diglett is basically useless at this point.
But I will say that that Diglett lead was definitely a hard call out by Adam, and I really love that it worked. And I think in general, Mons, like that can show maybe the Doug Trio teams just how powerful it is to start off with like an advantage state, right?
Yeah.
Like if you predict your opponent's going to lead something that's incredibly Doug, or in this case Diglett weak, why not give it a shot? The worst thing that happens is you just switch out.
Yeah, why not? Like, don't do this on ladder play, but like for draft, it's funny. You can make it work.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But also,
and then he sends out. He actually sacks his Diglett here, which I thought was bad at the time. And because I'm like, oh no, he can bring it. Like David did not bring in Porygon 2 to retrap him, so he can switch out and maybe trap like Ampharos or T-Tar later, which we know should be here, right? But by shipping Suicune, he actually lets Pikachu come in and guarantee the Thunderbolt kill here, so he's forced to switch.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Pikachu gaming. So here comes Porygon 2 on the Thunderbolt, and look at his damage.
It's not enough.
Like,
oh
brother,
my
that's
God.
Pikachu.
That's big Pikachu.
Yeah. So Regirock coming in. This has kind of just been Adam's de facto special wall, and that's superpowers with a lot of damage.
De facto
was that banded?
Paralysis Absorber.
I feel like that might have been banded.
That's absolutely banded. Oh, out of its mind, yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't really a good week for any other Regirock, I think. Just looking at the team here, like, banded Regirock goes a lot harder than the other one. And we see that this is Ancient Power Almaldo, which is a David TM specialty, I guess.
Yes. David is a big fan of Ancient Power.
And it's a shame he's not getting the Ethan luck out of it, because I think getting the boost there would have been really funny.
No.
Except
for the fact
that
he
got the boost. Yeah, that is funny.
So he gets the boost. So now we're just gonna do 53%.
You had to let him live the surf, which is very funny, but he is still slower than big stores. That's so sad. And just getting that one spike up, but even missing the toxic. Like
also,
I appreciate.
I do want to just point out JT calling out on the side. David will now forever go on about how Ancient Power is good, and I think that was funny.
Well, just now he's been doing it for like weeks.
I know, but like just seeing it there it's funny. Anyway,
I'm really unsure why David's paralysis spamming so much right now. I know he's scared of Jolteon coming in for free to absorb the Thunderbolt. But like, I don't think his team really cares about Jolteon's speed stat.
No,
he still gets slammed by Thunderbolts.
And that full para was very unfortunate.
Yeah, I think the T-Tar would have been super powered to death right there, because he actually got paralyzed, I think twice, or just on that one turn. But Big Scarm able to get up a Toxic on Amphy here, which is actually really cool, because really cool. Amphy in the sand, it does have Heal Bell, but he is forced to use it and take massive amounts of chip, which
and especially not going for it there, which like honestly like Skarmory is a big problem at this point.
Yeah, so I get trying to T-bolt it. Yeah.
And then going for the kill blow there, Adam capitalizes on that, gets Regirock in to throw off likely a very big Earthquake.
Earthquake or Explosion for sure.
Superpower, probably the better play.
But now look at who's left, right? And ask yourself, what's the Pikachu counter? Which is something you don't ask yourself that often.
That's true. I've never said that a day in my life.
Because here's T-Tar with Spike support, and that's oh wow. He actually got Min-rolled there.
He got Min-rolled, also misses Rock Slide, so now all of a sudden it's Pikachu Gaming.
Pikachu Gaming, yeah. interesting enough, I believe that T-Tar is banded, so he was locked into Rock Slide and couldn't EQ that turn, like he probably would have wanted.
Yeah.
And we see the Duck, because the Sand and the Spikes damage, get back into that 50% range, and Suicune outside of the 80% range. And yeah, Adam cleans game 1 up with Pikachu.
Shout out
to a
to
nice
the
little dodge.
non-fully evolved Pokemon. This is Pikachu gaming.
Pikachu, Clamperl, they're gaming.
Yeah, they're doing it. So we go into to game 2. We know how this is gonna go. David will never get
game opening every time.
Yeah, and it's funny.
I love
and,
the
this time,
Diglett.
David does the correct play and just goes into Porygon and reverse traps it, which is what you do. Except Diglett is living.
Did you let Diglett the tank?
Yeah.
And fun fact here, because the Porygon 2 did not have Ice Beam, he did not have a guaranteed way to one-shot this. So at any point, if he got crit, it was actually, like, he would have killed the Porygon.
Funny.
It's like, it was crazy. So Diglett gets extra chip on Porygon 2, which is pretty cool. And then David going into his banded superpower here, which is going to do a ton of damage, even to Suicune. So
I mean, 33, that's really not a lot of damage. But it also shows the Suicune is very physically defensive, so we're thinking rest, talk, calm mind.
Exactly.
As opposed to a more offensive. Which, with Tyranitar, David is kind of put in that position where he needs to do it. And Adam is a really good BP.
Love that baton pass right there. That was so smart.
So we see that Adam has learned a little bit after playing Hall. That, like, sometimes your Jolteon can just afford to pivot like that, knowing you're in a good matchup, and knowing your opponent has something that can just switch in and mitigate everything you just did, and then you can go out and do what you need to do. So here's a Rock Slide on Armaldo, and it fucking dies.
Gone!
See you later.
Incredible! I believe that Rock Slide might have been a range, but, like, not a good one. So he was pretty close to dead here. And I appreciate David going for the middle ground there, but you got to be careful with, like, banded mons. And he has to, I know he wants to keep his Suicune HP alive, but it's unfortunate he sacked his Armaldo to do so. Yeah,
especially with, like, Sand not being up yet. Like, Suicune's in a very unique situation. And Adam has once again done his signature thing of getting Jolteon paralyzed. This was a very aggressive switch. I think he was definitely trying to get Suicune, to catch Suicune. Which is
he was trying to catch the Porygon 2 Thunderbolting the Skarmory, but his Skarmory is at 100%, right?
Yeah.
And you can guarantee a spike no problem against Porygon 2, because if you get Thunder Waved or T-Bolt, you're only taking about 30, 40 at best, right? And if he T-Waves you, you can get another spike up, you can Toxic the Porygon, you can get him on a timer. Like, you don't really need Skarmory after looking at his team too much besides that initial spike. So I'm not entirely, like, sure why he wanted to hard switch to Jolteon, but it happened, and so you just gotta live with that decision now. So
yeah, I think especially with the spike up against like playing against Tyranitar with the permanent Sand, that spike sticks. And with Armaldo,
and also you've seen all 4 Porygon moves, right?
Yeah, Recover, T-Wave, Psychic,
Thunderbolt. We've seen it, I believe. Right? Yeah, I believe we've seen Thunderbolt by now.
In game 1.
But regardless, like, you should expect Porygon 2 to always carry Thunderbolt. So knowing that it only has Psychic as its move, like left, like, or having, T-Wave, and it's not going to spam Psychic into Skarmory. So if Skarm gets T-Waved, then you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to get Thunderbolted at some point, and that's when you can switch to Jolteon, because he's not going to spam T-Wave on already T-Waved Skarmory. But now David doing a good job keeping his Ampharos around, because look at that, it takes the Thunderbolt super well, heals the paralysis, and
a little roar. And now imagine if that spike was up.
Yeah, it would have been nice. A little extra chip there, getting that into Pikachu range.
Yep.
Will has messaged me saying the Cowboys have scored a touchdown.
That's very unfortunate.
Oh, they block a field goal and return it for a touchdown. Funny.
But just Cowboys blocked a field goal?
Blocked the blocked the Giants drive field goal, return it for a touchdown. Anyways.
That's crazy. Wow.
Did not expect that to come my way today, so I had to bring it
up. Switching Pikachu in directly.
And getting paralyzed. Brutal.
Yeah. That sucks. But also, like, with Pikachu's frailty, you need to keep this thing healthy.
It should never, ever switch in.
Like, we know Regirock is at 100%, and this has been, like, the de facto special check for Adam.
And already paralyzed.
And looking at David's team right now, like, Suicune, the Sand is up. So 80%, it's going to stay there until it rests. Right? Like, you can come in, you can throw off a Rock Slide. Nothing's going to heal, and then you can go out and go back into Skarm, get your Spike, go into Blastoise, whatever comes in, and deal with it appropriately. Throwing in Pikachu is very risky, because what is Pikachu going to actually do to Ampharos?
nothing, and it gets paralyzed for its treble on top of that. Because right now, Pikachu's only option for Ampharos is to hit Surf and do about 30 damage. So he sacked his best win con easily by far there for almost no reason.
Yeah.
And like you just can't do that when your Jolteon's already down. You got to keep that back con alive. And now a little bit of bad luck for his misplay there, because now he's getting paralyzed. But Duck goes down.
See,
and now you look at what's left and you think, how do I beat Suicune, right?
Yeah. And
so it's kind of a problem. You got to think about that at all times. Luckily for him, he does still have a few phasers.
Yeah, he has all of them, actually.
Yeah, right. And weirdly enough, it might be like the only way he wins this game at this point, because you're assuming it's rest, is to boom it with Regirock once it falls asleep. And he does still have a full HP Blastoise, meaning that he can force that rest by Toxicking here and getting that Mon to do that. So.
Yep.
Which
and
he does,
also,
which is a good play.
are trying to encourage Ampharos to come in too to take spikes damage.
Right.
But Suicune reveals Roar, so we see
which
it's
is
not
so cool.
Rest Talk, so it's probably just rest in the last, which I really like.
Right. I love Roar on your Mon that wants to get phased, like David. Bringing this week, I think, is actually really, really cool, because Skarmory with Whirlwind and Blastoise with Roar lose to Suicune with Roar because they roar them out. You roar out those Mons first, which is a neat way to not get swept. Or sorry, to not get phased out. But now David's in Adam's head. He's pulling out good Calm Minds, right? He knows he knows the Skarmory can literally not touch it, so he can Calm Mind up for free, and then boom,
gets
a big
the
crit
critical
surf
hit, first troubles and everything.
Yeah, very nice play. And honestly, he could just sack this Suicune at this point. I believe Ampharos is at.
Ampharos is at about 50, so it'll still do it. Yeah. But like with Suicune's damage, we can just kind of skip through this.
No. The game goes for a little bit longer, Matt.
Do we?
There's nothing really to talk about at this point, but I will say, like, just to both Adam and David, always know what the win con is. Because, like, look at how low Ampharos is getting at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like, if this Blastoise was not paralyzed, you are slower. You do take that Surf, and you do get killed. Now all of a sudden the game gets kind of funny again. So.
Yeah, so definitely very interesting. I still don't think Adam was going to be able to break through Suicune without having Pikachu around. Or Jolteon. So definitely going into Game 3, we'll see how Adam makes the adjustments. But first, let's watch Blaziken fucking die again.
Yippee!
Woo!
Guaranteed, there's nothing he can do to live that. Not even 252 Volt can live that. It's very funny.
Subscribe for more Diglett facts. And then he actually gets crit.
Diglett.
Which, I'm not gonna lie, was that a good... I feel like that wasn't a bad thing.
It would have ended up the same situation, because Porygon 2 would have recovered up to HP again, and then just gotten hit by an Earthquake, got up to 100, gotten hit by an Earthquake, gotten down to 69% for the second time. That would have been an exact repeat of Game 1. So... The only difference is Adam might have had a chance to crit if he didn't get crit, so it would have been funny then.
No, I like Adam going right to Skarmory now. Even it's like, you know what, this week in Calm Minds, I see that at +1, it does like 40%, that's fine. He's like, I need that spike. This spike is incredibly important right now.
Huge. And like, as much as I like Blastoise coming in, this is a cool play to go for initially. It does put it on a timer with Toxic, which is, it's not bad, but now you've got to be careful, because your Skarmory's getting pretty low. And he could Calm Mind again and force you to switch to Blastoise here. Yeah. Which he does do on this call-out turn, instead of you Whirlwinding.
But now, all of a sudden, look at Suicune's at 65%. Blastoise comes in, and now Suicune kind of has to rest. But Adam actually lets Skarmory go down and then goes Blastoise. Which I think was very...
really bad play, in my opinion.
Very short-sighted play.
But like, you do get the Toxic, which is cool. But you lose out on a lot of future, like... stalling out with Skarmory, especially versus Bandit T-Tar. You want that Earthquake immune Mon.
Yeah, and especially the rest of the team. Like, Blastoise was not the switch in, because you want to force that Suicune out. Like, what about Pikachu? You threaten it out.
Actually, I do not believe Pikachu breaks this right here.
That's crazy.
It's really tough to break Suicune at +2, but like, you are right. Like, you could have sent in the more offensive Mon.
And then gets the Great Roar, getting Tyranitar, which is exactly what you want.
Yeah, getting the sand up was very nice.
You want the sand more than David does.
Right. And here comes the Earthquake, because again, he gets it for free now that Skarm's dead. But it turns out Blastoise is somehow faster. I guess that's not a very fast Tyranitar.
That Toxic miss is very unfortunate.
Yeah, a little sad there, but he does still have a few answers in the back for Ampharos, which he goes into counter number 1, which is correct.
Yes, gets this time we're not going right into Jolteon, which is good. we're learning, we're adapting. And then going for the Earthquake, big crit. Big crit.
Huge crit, my god.
Because it makes
so
Armaldo now
right
come
out.
in to try to spin. That pair is unfortunate, and now that spike is gone. And your form of chip damage is mitigated.
Right. I almost feel like he could have switched out on Armaldo here, but it's tough to predict what the Armaldo is going to do.
We're also not really scared of Armaldo.
Yeah, but then you see the Earthquake doing 60, and I just think that later on having Regirock at full HP will really help out against Ampharos later. So keeping it alive for that's much better than just taking out Armaldo with it, which you can send in your many other mons to do. Like Blastoise, who's still around and,
exactly.
has done his job.
Yeah. So now we see Porygon's going to go for the recover, right? Adam stays in, he's just clicking Earthquake. And now you got to think, okay, what can I do to get out of this situation?
Right, because you're not breaking the duck. It's healing too much.
Duck, and you need to keep Blastoise alive. And now you're getting crit by your troubles. Look at the full para. Especially being paralyzed with something as important as Regirock right now, especially looking at the board positioning, you need to keep this thing around.
Oh, yeah. Well, you need to keep it around before it drops to 16%.
Yeah, and you can come in with your Jolteon now, or any of your electric types. You can come in. It's not going to T-Wave you, you're already paralyzed.
Well, now he's going to hit Psychic because it's, a little... Now he can get the guaranteed kill, or just he heals back up. And now instead of all that, Regirock at 60% or whatever, and Porygon at 80, now Porygon's at 100 and is able to just T-Wave your Jolteon. It's a really tough spot to be in. But there is one win con left, and it is Pikachu, and he is keeping that in the back safe, which is good.
Yes.
And then... But, it's hard to break this duck, because if he had the Regirock at higher HP, he could have come in and forced it out with the superpower instead of sacking it with Earthquake late. Now he just dies as soon as he comes in.
Thankfully, he gets bailed out by a critical hit.
He gets the biggest crit of his life there, which may seem like luck, because, Matt, it is luck.
Yeah, of course.
But when you swing enough times, you're going to get it.
Yeah.
It's what happens when you just sit there and heal forever. It's going to happen to you eventually. And it unfortunately happened to David. And now all of a sudden the game is back on for Adam.
Yeah. And we got Blastoise coming in with the BP. Love that.
Yeah, I like that baton pass for into Blastoise. You're faster, and the Surf is going to one-shot it. And ask yourself what in the back wants to take a Surf. The only thing is a Sleeping Suicune, who is guaranteed
who is not asleep, who is at 25%.
Sorry,
and
I
now
forgot.
He needs to go to bed.
Heal belled.
And he needs to go to bed. And you know
right,
what that means?
He does need to sleep. I know what that means, Matt.
Apparently going for Toxic. So... with Suicune to sleep, right? Knowing that your opponent has to rest, and you have Jolteon and Pichu, it's on your opponent to then make the play. Because you look at the board positioning, right? We see Amphi at 68, Tyranitar is low, Armaldo is low.
Right.
You also have a paralyzed Jolteon. This might be the best time to get Jolteon back in.
Or even so, if you want to keep Blastoise on the field, you just hit Surf because it can't Calm Mind up. You will put it into Sand Death range if you hit it with a Surf, and he doesn't rest.
Yeah.
But
now that it's asleep, it's Pikachu time.
Right, and David knows he has to do at least 2 more turns of sleep, so he sacks his Armaldo, and there comes Amphi at definitely a pretty high percent.
But we see
Adam makes a baller play.
Great play.
But David, he calls out David wanting to T-Wave him for whatever reason. I'm not sure why he didn't swing Thunderbolt here, because Thunderbolt does 70 or 80 to Pikachu, and the Jolteon is paralyzed in the back, so you don't mind if it heals. You don't even have in fact, this Ampharos didn't even have a move for Jolteon anyways.
True.
So, which is a little bit of a team building issue. But now look what happens. You get hit by 2 Surfs and die instead of killing the Pikachu with 1 Thunderbolt.
Yep.
So,
and now, Pikachu Gaming.
Yeah, it turns out a real threat. Don't remember this for next week, David. Please forget Pikachu's a threat.
Gauntlet.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly trade Adam for Jolteon before we play.
And Pikachu, he done it. So
he done it. I love to see this, by the way. This makes me so happy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it sucks for David. He played a 5v6.
He played a 5v6 every single set, and he did position himself well in Game 3, I think, with the Porygon. And it's just sometimes when you build a team so defensively oriented, Heal Bell, Ampharos, and recover Porygon, the crits will come in at the worst times.
Yep.
And Adam really, I think, didn't play the best Game 3, but really did nicely, like played exactly as he needed to game 1, and ended up recovering the game 3 to the point where he kept Pikachu in a much better state than he did game 2, and that got him the win.
Yeah, and then getting that sub on the T-Wave, like I think if David had clicked literally any other move, he probably pulls out this game 3. But getting that sub on the T-Wave, Adam, noticing, David's really trying to Thunderwave everything. I don't know what he's trying to Thunderwave at this point. Besides knowing, oh, Pikachu can't kill me, maybe he'll go for it and I can paralyze it and win the game. Because obviously we hadn't seen sub yet. So
yeah, good hiding on this sub. Yeah. Also, really funny that Adam's team this week was like, where's his UBLs?
Dude, what do you
mean? It's Pikachu.
Oh,
it's Regirock. Yes, I was Dwayne's around. You're right.
All right, so we'll go on to our next set. Brian, it's your set.
Oh, it's me versus Hall. This was fun. We had a good time.
This was a fun set. So we see Jolteon and Steelix.
Yeah, lead Steelix was here. This was funny.
Yes. So Jolteon can't beat Steelix. I know this is very shocking to you, the viewer at home. But
wait, you mean Double Kick doesn't do a lot of damage? No way.
So here comes more Jolteon Blastoise Gaming for your viewing pleasure.
I already got a little bit of information on the fact that he switched to Blastoise turn 1 instead of Weezing, meaning that, like, oh, maybe he doesn't have a ground resist, which was interesting. And then getting his Jinx in. I think Jinx is one of the best Pokemons in this format.
Yeah, that lovely kiss miss was very unfortunate.
Yeah, I was actually, like, pretty sad that he didn't go for it again, which I thought was odd. Yeah. I assumed he would just try to put me at bed again, because obviously I'm lefty, so, like, I can't do anything back. But I switched the Steelix in here to try and eat because it's actually Lumberry Steelix, so I'm trying to eat the lovely kiss at this point. He's just not going for it.
Anyway, here's Granbull.
Do you like Granbull, Matt?
Dude, I'm a big Granbull believer.
Now you gotta switch the sides then.
Right. Well, I don't want to look at Jinx.
Oh god, no, maybe not.
Look at him.
There he is.
Look at him, 22%. Yum.
Takes nothing. Granbull scared me, honestly. I was look at that damage. He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah. So going into like the team builder, Hall had asked me for help. He was like, we're like messing around, and then all of a sudden I said, hear me out. What about Granbull over Weezing? Because Weezing honestly didn't help that much because you have so much special offense and psychic types to put so much pressure on it, to where like Mence is, like the threat of Mence, like you checking it, Granbull can do it good enough with Blastoise that it makes up for the liability of letting Zam Calm Mind, Jirachi Calm Mind, or anything like that.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I don't think this is a bad play at all. In fact, looking at the numbers here, I could tell he had a lot of defense to him.
It was just max HP.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything crazy.
Like, but I also have to be very careful with Rachi right now, because it's a Dugtrio hiding in the back, right?
Yes.
And at any moment, I could just get trapped. So we actually sent in Zam here on Jinx, which makes the most sense to me, I think. Trying to get myself into
crit, and that sucks.
Yeah, I get crit. Zam does not get to play the game very often. I was trying to get myself into my berry range. I did have a Select berry on it. And here comes Granbull and Mence, and I'm very scared because I'm intimidated and I don't like that. And then he goes for return, and that does the Salam and Steelix combo is very tough for this Granbull to deal with.
Especially with the
Intimidate cycling
from Mence too.
Right, so and then I pull out Dragon Claw. I actually had Dragon Claw on this set for Granbull and Weezing in case they thought they could, come in on all my physical attacks. It was okay. I don't think it was anything special.
And right here,
I'm shocked he didn't go to Dugtrio that turn.
I was about to say the same thing, yeah. Because right there, Doug is it's a delete button.
Like, if you're scared of getting Psychic, I guess, but I've so far only shown Body Slam Wish, and, like, that shouldn't scare you. Like, sure, you could get paralyzed with Body Slam, but might not even be going for it, So, like, getting that Dugtrio trap there on Jirachi is pretty cool. And then I actually send it back in, because it's my only Blastoise, like, it's my best Blastoise check at the moment. Like, Ludicolo is there, but I don't want it to take too much damage at the moment.
Yeah, and then Houndoom comes in, which, again, like, it's a fair mid-ground play. I don't know.
Look at my team, right? And, like, what wants to come into Houndoom at the moment?
Yeah, exactly.
And then he actually makes that call. He makes the call to Ludicolo that turn, which is pretty funny.
Except
so I go into
Men's is,
Memphis after.
much better, and then goes for Flamethrower. It's like, all right, let's.
I didn't even have Fire Blast at that point.
Yeah, and then here's a look at Big Grant getting crit though, which is very.
Oh, that was huge. Yeah, I forgot about that crit. That was huge. Because now he's forced to recover here, and I should have DD'd. I should have done it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a free DD turn. 100%.
I was really scared of. Well, here's the thing. I'm really scared of Blastoise coming in, so I'm just trying to chunk the Blastoise down, so when I DD later, I can kill it, right? So I know that, like, if I DD here and he switched to Blastoise, it's just a waste of a turn.
Yeah. But also, imagine if that was a double Doug.
I mean, I still live the hit, right? I have Wish Protect. I can live up. He doesn't know this, but I can live up to like 76%, no problem.
This is crazy.
And now he can go to Doug.
Yeah. So now it's like you gotta wish.
Call.
It's like right there. That's a free Doug turn. Like you have to, like, in a position like this, you gotta get on the aggressive. And now it comes in on what would have been a protect. You call it out nicely, throw off Body Slam.
That was a fun one, right? That was a fun Body Slam call out. Yeah. Because it guaranteed 2 shots, Doug Trio, if he's not careful.
Because it's one of those things where it's like you can almost see the fear in those last few turns, where it's like it's like he's playing like he's like, I want to go into Doug, but I don't know how to do it. Sometimes you just gotta rip the band-aid off and do it aggressively and do it immediately. It's like playing around Sucker Punch, almost. You gotta know when to do it. You gotta think like a couple turns ahead. Not like, all right, I'm gonna do a little bit, and it's like, okay, if he protects, this is the perfect opportunity.
Also, I want to go back like one turn or whatever. Like, yeah, obviously, I'm not sure Hall checked this, but like, I was able to live a Surf this turn on 33, no problem.
Yep.
So I actually didn't need to protect. Like, that Surf did 26. I was not like the crit, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But
honestly, I would
anything that comes in against Body Slam at this point is good.
been a great play.
Yeah,
because you cover like a Body Slam or any like damage, and then Roar, it's like Steelix is 73, Luke Cole's at 100. Mence is at 93. They get the wish. Who cares?
Yeah. And obviously, we're just like saying earlier, like, oh, you should bring in Doug Trio more. Like, I guess, but it is hard. I get it's hard.
It's hard.
I think that when he was using the Lovely Kiss Jinx, right, like getting that sleep to Doug Trio combo, like putting something to bed, and then being able to later trap it is going to be a lot more helpful.
Yeah. So now at this point, like, Jirachi is kind of.
Yeah, I haven't even revealed Psychic yet, so he didn't know. He thought I was full physical, I'm sure. And I like how he's just letting me. He's just getting his lefties back, which is cool because now Houndoom gets to come in and take nothing from this Body Slam.
Yeah, no para on this one.
Nah, nothing. But now it's a lot more safer to come to Ludicolo without the fear of Doug Trio in the back just HP bug trapping me. And goes for a Toxic, which
I don't think that mattered.
It did not, no. But now it makes Jirachi a lot less, because Houndoom's gone. What's stopping Jirachi at this point?
Yeah, and plus Steelix. I think Steelix kind of at this point is really, It's really.
I mean, I can barely deal with Gramble at the moment. Actually, I didn't think that would do so much. I forgot.
I was gonna say you can handle Granbull pretty effectively. He's only at like 37% at the time.
Yeah. And this is the turn. This is the DD turn. That's the turn I should have DD'd. Without the DD, I was like, whoops. Like, I think I might have just clicked it, not realizing. Because I forgot Blastoise is only at 46, and a 46 Blastoise definitely would have gotten chunked by a DD Mence. So we have to play out the end game a little bit longer here. Hall's just kind of attempting to break apart Rachi, but it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, no, it needs
unless he gets a lucky crit. Yeah, he needs a crit at this point, which is a good play to go for. Like, don't forfeit this match. Go for the crit.
Yep. But yeah, at this point, we'll kind of speed this up.
Yeah. I wish past Steelix, and then funny enough, you skip the turn there, but I get he gets the 2% sub break.
Oh yeah, which is really funny.
It was like literally the only damage possible at that point, like out of like 1 out of 16 or whatever, something even lower. It was crazy, but he gets it. So, and then he goes for the freeze play to his body, and nothing. But it was a good game one. Yeah. We go to game 2.
We'll keep it consistent.
Yeah, I'll put Jolteon on the front there. I like his sprite.
Awesome. Granbull is coming in turn 1.
Yep, takes the with the Intimidate, takes it about as well as Blastoise does anyways, so works out, right? And then I Intimidate it back, which is fun. Because we have this little Intimidate cycle where neither of us wants to be intimidated. And then he stays in, right? I'm like, okay, not a big deal. Except it is.
Except he knew something that you didn't.
Yeah, he knew he was getting a crit that turn, which, wow, without Mence, oh god.
Yeah.
That's bad. So, I'm actually spamming Psychic here to let Houndoom come in for free. Because this set was designed to trap Houndoom intentionally with the Crunch Berry here. But I get the only possible roll to not one-hit KO it, and I'm sad.
That's so funny.
And if he went for Pursuit before Crunch, I actually would have gotten off 2 Calm Minds guaranteed without a crit.
Yeah.
So then
we see the
kill.
rain.
But, oh well. Yeah, now we see the rain. Now things get fun.
Yes, this is the real game plan.
So I do no damage with Smorgasbord, sadly.
Mm-hmm. That's a good.
And now I gotta be careful because those rain boosted surfs from Blastoise will deal a ton to Jirachi and put me in Dugtrio range.
This is very true. And then Pat does a good job of just, keeping Blastoise
stalling out
healthy,
the rain
stalling out the
turns.
rain turns.
Yeah, look at how much my rain damage has done to it. It's 19% to a Blastoise. Oh no.
I think going for the double protect, though,
that's bold.
was a very bold decision. Because we've seen how important Blastoise is to, keeping his team together. And, given, we know his team, Jinx will die, Doug will die, Houndoom will die. He doesn't have anything else that can really come in. So it's unfortunate that, you kind of got to go for it because you have to eat the HP grass. And then he gets crit, and that crit definitely mattered.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But in all sadness, there is happiness, and that should have been a Dugtrio switching right there with HP Bug to kill me.
Exactly.
And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe I didn't even want that crit, because maybe I wanted to reset up the rain. Like, that's a bad crit in a sense.
Yeah.
But he goes to Gramble, and I was shaking my head here, like, was that a misclick? Like, what's going on here? I assume the Dugtrio had HP Bug.
It did.
I do not believe there is a Ludicolo set, Rain Dance set in the world that can live in HP Bug, Doug.
I think it just comes to another, again, we've seen this a lot with the Doug players, of not capitalizing on your opportunities. Because you're basically playing 5v6 at all times. Because you're just like, I have this hidden trick. Use it. If you don't use it, it doesn't matter. It's useless. Use it. Trap the Ludicolo. Who cares you let in Jirachi or Steelix? Who cares? You have a whole other team.
What do you let in with Dugtrio?
Yeah, like...
Oh no, my Steel type's coming, which then you can later trap me with Earthquake.
Yeah. And now look, Ludicolo's got the rain up again.
Yeah. Honestly though, like, that was a lot of damage return, and if this was spec'd to live a Surf in the rain, I get the play, but I do not believe it is, and he does not believe it is either, so...
No.
He switches out here, and sacks his Houndoom, which is fair. And then goes into Jinx, who I do not... Oh wow, does take the rain, and then doesn't kill me with Ice Beam, which is so sad.
So, again, calcs are good. And also, you got a free sleep. I think sleep is, especially
He messaged me after and said, I wish I hit sleep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so even if you miss sleep, then it is, it's whatever, you lose Jinx.
Yeah. Is Psychic stronger than Ice Beam?
Ice Beam is stronger.
Okay, so he did go for the right play, at least damage-wise. But now here comes Dugtrio and does the actual thing with, getting me out with HP Bug. And I'll actually go for Surf here, because I knew that I couldn't kill a Jolteon in a rain-boosted Surf because I didn't have Hydro Pump.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to chip damage on it from that turn and send in, he's forced to T-Bolt. He can't do it. He could Baton Pass, I guess, but he should T-Bolt that turn.
And I think this turn, especially knowing, Gorbis is kind of your win condition at this point. Like, if you get the rain again, that's it. We're done here.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And, leaving it in on the Jolteon, you kind of have to run. So I thought, your switch to Steelix was very, very obvious. So the BP would have been a very good play. Because you can then...
but I don't know if the BP eats... I don't think the BP eats the Surf is the problem.
Well, even if you would, because I think, you switching into Steelix was, it made logical sense. And then if, Pat were to have, BP'd, gone into Gramble, dropped the Intimidate, throw off Earthquakes until you die, basically. And then you can trap whatever's here with Doug, Jolt. You have the speed advantage now. You can kind of play that game. All you have to do is get this thing chipped a little bit.
At best, it's a 50-50. Because, if he makes the wrong call there, right, and BP is not Rain Dance, the game is over.
Yeah.
So it's a 50-50 where he chooses to lose later instead of now in that sense. And I would consider it to be the safer play. But, at the same time, yeah, the Steelix switch is super obvious. If he had Sub on the Jolteon, the game is completely different, right? But I believe that Jolteon only has T-Wave, Baton Pass, HP Ice Thunderbolt. So he really... Actually, I don't think he had T-Wave. I think he had Agility. He had Agility on the Jolteon for some reason. And that's not helping out at the situation in the game.
Yeah, so this turn, right, given how this played out, This is one where, all right, Steelix is gonna come in this time, right? We got the BP.
He does BP.
We
yeah,
see
yeah,
it.
yeah.
All right, we got the Earthquake.
And actually, I didn't really consider this, but I didn't when I did that switch, right? I went to myself, oh, Gorbis can live an EQ at 70. And then I checked the calc after and went, oh my god, it can't live the EQ at 70.
No.
So I needed this body slam paralysis to win this game here. Not realizing, like, oh god, Dugtrio's a menace. And I do get it with the 60%, which means the game is now a little bit closer to over it. I mean, Jolteon can definitely do it, right?
Yeah, Jolteon can do it. You just gotta dodge a para.
Gotta dodge a para, dodge a crit.
Dodge a para, dodge a crit.
Oh, for him, dodge a para. I got dodge a para too, you know?
Okay. We see the Wish, which obviously, you know, if that's what you need to do, that's a good play.
Right, and it's unfortunate that he can't do anything else besides spam Thunderbolt here because he doesn't have any way of doing it. He really has nothing else he can do. He could hit agility for fun, I guess, but like, I'm just gonna wish up until I'm at, you know, higher HP, and we just get to the point where he needs to crit. If he crits, great. If he paras, great. If not, I win the game.
And
so,
bang,
paralyze that one, yeah.
That is Jirachi
Gaming. We can
Gaming.
just skip the rest of the. Yep,
And
Jirachi Gaming.
Jirachi Gaming.
Jirachi Gaming.
So,
but like, yeah. Good set. I don't think it was. I think Hall played well. I just think that it was. There was a couple crits and paras and stuff throughout the game that definitely changed the strategy of the game, and both he and I had to adapt our plays. And I think overall we did pretty well. Like when I got my Salamence crit this game, and he got his Blastoise crit this game, or whatever. Like it changed our thinking, and I seeing it live, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So. And I think he had a good time with it. Yeah. So I hope I got a little redemption from the week before.
All right, so we got JT and Ethan. Let's see, we got on lead. We got Arcanine, and we got Clamperl.
Isn't that a base lead by Ethan?
Look at that.
Can't believe he led Clamperl.
Throw off a Surf, 51%.
Gross. Now, if this Clamp had Hydro Pump, it's Jover. But he stays in.
And for some reason, we're seeing Hidden Power, which I know is HP Grass for Swampert. But
oh, you know it's grass, not electric? Okay.
Yeah, so think about why.
Oh, right, Swampert, yeah. But, like, Swampert doesn't take a Surf.
Yeah. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you don't need to change your move. Like, JT doesn't, what do you think, Tentacruel is going to come in? If he had Tentacruel, he would have went into it.
Well, even so, like, Tentacruel comes in and takes 30 from a Surf because Clamperl's busted. But I think this is a game check knowledge where he doesn't realize, you know, he doesn't know Hariyama has knockoff.
So.
No, I think the misclick was the toxic here. Oh, the hidden power. Yeah, sorry. But this is a definite game knowledge check here where you don't realize Hariyama's A, gonna have knockoff, and B is guts. Like, this is just something you have to look at your opponent.
You have to know.
You have to go into the game knowing this, and if you don't know this, well, now you have to adapt throughout it for future games.
Yep.
So.
They don't know.
And it does a good job of putting Ninja Skin on Swampert, which is cool.
Yeah.
Baiting out the Earthquake, getting a, you know.
And now
you never really see Ninjask come in and survive a hit.
Yeah, so here comes Ninjask with the Intimidate. I really like this because now, if it's gonna pass to Metagross, it's very not as threatening. And JT goes right to Arcanine with the Roar too, so he had this all calculated. And with the E-Speed,
this Arcanine here is here to beat Ninjask, no questions asked. And David has no way of dealing with it because every time he wants to do something, he's just gonna get roared.
Yep.
So. Cool. This is how you beat Baton Pass. It's pretty easy.
It's not that hard. There's Silver Wind, no boost.
Ninjask is not carrying.
Ninjask is gone.
Yeah, Ninjask is gone. He has done nothing. So phasing is cool.
Phasing is cool. Use it.
Big crit there by Arcanine, honestly.
Yeah. And we see HP Grass, big crit.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah. Triple luck. My God.
And how about another one?
Oh, my God. He got 3. I forgot.
Golly.
That sucks.
He said,
I'm not sure why Metagross came in anyways, but man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Arcanine. But if you want to like keep your Ninjask alive to not have it get phased out, always check who your opponent phasers are and see if you can carry a coverage move to cover one of them at least, so you can at least attempt to play the 50-50 anti-phase game. But that's just my thoughts. And now we have Entei versus the World, and if this Entei had Hidden Power Grass, it actually could have been a game, which is really funny to say at this point. It did not have HP Grass.
What did it have?
I have no idea.
How do you not have HP Grass when you're playing the Swampert team?
That's a really good question. And Ethan likes to make his teams up on the fly. So this might have just been he just kind of forgot. I believe his reasoning was he had HP Grass on 3 other mons and said he didn't need it for Entei.
Oh, that was a foolish mistake.
But you always want to, yeah, Swampert is that guy,
so
right?
It's
Swampert
one of those things
so
where, like, when you think about when you want the coverage move, for example, like Entei with HP Grass, what types of Pokemon are going to come in on your fire type? Waters. What is JT's water type? Swampert and Tentacruel. What is likely going to come in? Swampert. HP Grass.
Well, Aerodactyl doesn't want to come in on that. He doesn't want to take a hit.
Exactly. And if it is Tentacruel, and you get a Caught Mind, a +1 HP Grass is going to do considerable damage.
Like 30, so. Tentacruel's a drug.
Yeah. So.
But even so, right? Like, HP Grass covers the Swampert and Tentacruel anyways. I believe it was HP Ice for Aerodactyl, which is, it's funny.
I don't know. Aerodactyl just kills you, so I think that was just bad.
Right. And I like him getting Clamperl out. Don't let Clamperl get knocked. That's good. Good game knowledge. And now you get a free Spore, except JT brings his number 1 Breloom counter. To everybody who has a Breloom, or to everybody playing JT, if you have a Breloom or a Sleepmon, this thing will be here to take it. Please keep your Sleepmons ready. And then he misses the Rock Slide, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Because any move there would have broken the sub, right? You don't have to go for the Rock Slide. Like, you saw the sub was up, just go for EQ. You guarantee that sub's out of the way.
And now here's Metagross again. Switching out.
Yep, going right back to Entei. Good call. Because Entei takes these flamethrowers like nothing, except it gets crit. Bro, who let JT put the... Who let him cheat today?
Seriously.
Is it his birthday? Is it his wedding anniversary? I gotta know.
No, it's the new house. Gives you
new house. You're right. Congratulations, JT. I'm real happy for you, buddy, actually.
Very nice.
Yeah, right?
And then, once again, we are paralyzing the Guts Pokemon.
Dude, what is Lantern when he takes 46 after Guts? But you know what? It's Parafusion. He's doing the funny. Okay. Maybe go for the Confusion before the Para. That way you don't get the Guts boost, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Good knockoff by JT. I think he's just sacking a Teriyama at this point. And,
because you get a free switch to Swamp.
Yeah. And he does not call out the Ninjask.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he's no reason to at this point.
Yeah, because Ninjask is not that scary. And a really cool switch to Clamperl here. Sadly, does not get the speed boost to it beforehand, because he could have attempted one at least. But
because now, Electabuzz has got to eat that hit.
Bro, JT subbing.
Which is a good thing, because now he gets Pataya, and there isn't a lot that wants to deal with this.
And he does a great HP Grass here. Yeah, knowing.
Yep.
I think that's the turn you sack Ninjask, right?
Yeah. The static
you can't get that
too. And now
that's so sad, because that's actually a really good mock punch.
And now it's Ariados Gaming.
Yeah.
It's Rock Slide this time, though. That's good.
That's cool.
Well, BP.
And Baton passes dry to Swampert, and I believe he calls up the Ninjask here.
Yep.
Goes for what looks to be HP Rock.
Yep, and there's Breloom.
I don't like HP Rock Swampert. Bro, it's gonna do so much damage. Anyways.
Yeah.
I think if this Breloom had an option to hit Ariados in the future, knowing that it's such a good Breloom counter, right? Like, this is just Ethan not knowing this, and it's weird, right? Like, who knows about Ariados? Why would you know about that?
Exactly. Yeah, they don't know, Mr.
Like, they don't know. So you could just just ask somebody and be like, hey, does my team look good? And they'll be like, oh, just keep an eye out for Ariados. Throw HP Rock on that Breloom or something, right?
Yeah, and now it's Aerodactyl Gaming.
Yeah, now Aerodactyl's here, but
we also have a full HP Metagross.
Yeah, so life's good, and I think that's the turn I hit Meteor Match instead of Rock Slide, because Aerodactyl's locked in HP Flying. He can't do a lot of damage, right? And HP, Rock Slide's doing nothing to Swampert, sadly. This is actually a really close endgame here. It was at the time we were really talking it out, and you can just see like JT's first of all his nice crit, but second, like there was a point where Ethan needed to boom specifically on
Swampert right there.
On Swampert and didn't get the chance, while also keeping Breloom alive later to deal like with Aerodactyl and Clef. It was a weird situation. It wasn't in his favor, but he definitely didn't play it right by block sliding. Like there was a way he needed to like spam Earthquake while Aerodactyl switched out or something. Like it was odd.
Yeah, you have to take advantage of the like the arrow being locked in with Metagross coming in, knowing Swampert is the answer, and
right.
planning accordingly.
And even if it's like a double to Braylon or something, it's hard. I'm not going to say it was easy to recommend what the right play is there. But JT just got through with a nice overpowering end game, and hopefully for Ethan, I think he actually didn't play badly, but definitely just keep an eye on what your opponent can phase you with. If you're committed to this baton pass strategy, you just got to know which mons are going to counter it.
And also be aware of what Pokemon your opponent has and what their response to what you have is, and stop statusing the Guts Pokemon.
And stop getting crit. I think that's really important.
Yeah, don't get crit either. That's the.
Yeah, don't let JT do that to you. Yeah. Also, good job, JT. You got nice crits.
Yeah, no. I still think, regardless, we're sitting here being like, oh, JT got all those crits. They helped, but I never felt like he was really out of anything. Like, it was just like, oh, that was really nice, but it never felt like, oh, that completely changed the game. It was just like, oh, yeah, Ethan's not coming back from that. It's just like JT put himself in a position where he got the crit, and he sped up us talking about it for about 5 minutes. At some points, like especially with Arcanine, it's like, ooh.
Oh yeah, that Arcanine triple crit was hysterical.
That was really funny. All right,
and by that I mean I felt bad. But now we have Will intentionally leading Aerodactyl, and Ernest leading Regirock, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So let's see how this goes. We're gonna see Slowbro come in. We're gonna see Rock Slide does 32. That's banned.
That implies banded for sure.
And
yeah,
we see
Big Bro
Gengar come into Slowbro, which I feel like the people we think, oh, Shadow Ball time. Nope. No, he's not gonna do that. He's gonna Thunderbolt. But
Thunderbolt for significantly less damage.
It is not your switching, especially when you have a
Suicune.
When you have a Suicune, it's free. And now you lost your Gengar on turn 3.
That being said, you do have Slowbro down to 25, which if you're looking to sweep with Suicune later, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's worth the Gengar sack that early. I think you could play around that a bit.
We see Roselia gaming.
Wow, the first time Will's actually bringing Roselia. I'm real proud of him. Because look at this. He got a spike up. Everybody clap.
Everybody clap, please.
That's OU Mon right there, and then he dies.
Woo! And here comes Matang.
Yo, it's Matang. We love Matang. Matang Meteor Match does 41 to Raichu, and that's not banded.
Yeah. And we see Thunder Wave, which is definitely a very interesting decision to go for.
I mean, he probably thought he was banded, right? It feels like that should be banded damage with Matang, but it's not.
If you don't know, run the calc.
Let's check it out, right?
Anyway, here's Wailord. Anybody, check this out. Boom. Sad.
Boom. It does not do 50. Go back to being sad.
Fuck it, here we go. Woo!
Here we go, get the crit? Nah,
nope.
Fam.
You did nothing. Sad.
It was a good try by Wailord. I don't know if he was modest. Maybe modest would have killed him. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Might have been.
Ernest
got bailed out real hard right there.
Really funny wisp to wisp the Water Velmon. I'm going to say it. But good job, Will. You got the right prediction, I guess, and then you missed it anyway, so that sucks. And I believe he just swings it again, right? Because now he's getting Spikes, Chip, plus Burn, and that's really nice to have on Suicune. And
now Suicune is in an interesting spot.
Except, it got cursed.
Curse. Brother.
I love Dusclops, man.
I'm glad you do, because I don't.
Dude, the fact that he's cursed with Pain Split is just too funny. That's so negative synergy, but it works so well in this match. Because now look, Suicune's dead. He has to rest, if he has it. Which luckily he does. Good night. But he's still cursed, so he still takes 24, and that's a switch out later.
And here's Chansey. So
that's the biggest. That's the biggest blob right there.
That's a big blob.
Yeah. Seeing 19 from Zapdos really makes me sad. Because I think that's max special attack too. Yeah, I don't know what that was. What was that?
What are we T-waving twice for? I think this kind of starts. Because we're gonna see this a lot in this set.
Right? Yeah, first T-Wave made sense, but the second T-Wave couldn't have been
so sometimes there's a thing of overthinking.
Yeah.
And this can also come from game sense too, because we see the exact opposite thing with Adam's sets, where if Adam's like, oh, I could get my offensive threat in, I'm gonna get him in right now. Will is very patient. He's a very patient gamer. His Slowbro is at 31%. It was paralyzed. It has to rest to do anything. Essentially, it's kind of done its job at this point. So he's willing to let it die to a Seismic Toss.
Actually, does it die to a Seismic Toss?
At 31.
I don't know. We'll see later because he's going to get hit by it. He's going to be wish passing at this point. But who actually can receive the wish? It's probably just Whaler at this point. Regirock's.
Regirock
And it's sad. He doesn't really have a lot of answers to Slowbro right now with Raichu being dead.
So we see HP Ghost. Huge critical hit.
Oh, that crit was huge. Big crit. I forgot about that. Will does not realize HP Ghost and goes into Slowbro who's asleep, thinking it's probably...
I don't know what he was thinking.
It's the only HP it could have been is Ghost or Dark, and, you know, the only one that's physical is Ghost, so...
Yeah.
I mean, it obviously, like, there isn't a lot of answers here. Maybe Metang, but... Yeah. Gets the Calm Mind up and starts doing the fun with Slowbro, right? Like, getting Calm Minds on Slowbro here does win him the game.
Yeah. So we see a really fun potential opportunity here where I'm here. You know what I see? I see click Water Spout and then explode. Right? Right. Because if he wants to switch, then he can. If not, we just boom. You know, if he wants to get
now that crit did matter. That crit did matter. I did check. Yeah. So that changed the game significantly. Now, if Will thought he was going to get crit there, you're right. Like, Water Spout would have made sense from Ernest's perspective. Will, if he didn't want to get crit self-destructed, probably had to say a switch to Metang.
Yep.
And worst comes to worst, he just goes to Zapdos after dying with Metang and gets the Thunderbolt for free and try it again, right? Mm-hmm. But losing that puts the end game in a really weird situation here because you're kind of in a Western standoff in a sense where every Mon counters the other Mon on the field 1-for-1 only.
Yeah.
And nothing's able to particularly set up and break through, so like it's going to be quite hard. He doesn't have Boom, Matt.
Not Boom?
I don't believe so.
There's
I believe
no
it's
way
Meteor
that
Mash.
Metang did not have Explosion.
Okay, he might have Boom, right? And booming the Suicune with Metang is an answer, but without, like... He actually doesn't have an answer for Regirock if it's at full HP. So the only answer to surviving Rock Slides is the Metang at the moment. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe it had Boom, right? I know it had Shadow Ball Rock Slide, or I know it had Shadow Ball Meteor Mash EQ, so I'm guessing it must have been Boom.
Yeah.
And we do have to appreciate this is actually, I said earlier it was full special attack. I meant to say it was full special, I believe it's full special defense Zapdos. Something really crazy, right? Like it's a specifically anti-Suicune Zapdos Will thought up of in like 2 minutes, like right before the set began, and switched it into his team knowing that it would do better. And right now, it's not dealing. Yeah, it's showing it. It has Roar and I believe Toxic and T-Bolt and also and Rest. I believe that's Rest, right?
Yes.
So, which Ernest does not know yet. So Ernest is happy just chipping down the Zapdos at the moment, who doesn't normally carry Rest. Little Paralysis on chance there actually was pretty cool. Now he can't Toxic it with Zapdos, so you like that.
But now here comes Aerodactyl. What are we going to see? We're going to see Earthquake.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't Earthquake there. I feel like that would have been a better play.
Yeah. So this is a fun turn where you can decide, are you a gamer? Are you a safe gamer? Or are you a mid-ground kind of guy? Me, myself, I'm a gamer. I'm clicking Earthquake.
You're bold. You know what? When we fight, Matt, I'm just going to make all the wrong moves.
I'm clicking Earthquake. Right?
I'm staying in.
Right, so if your arrow could stay in, right, click Double Edge. And do nothing. Because if this clicks Rock Slide, arrow's dead, and then this game is essentially is done.
Back to being pretty free.
You can also, like, you can mid-ground go for HP Ghost. You hit everything neutrally, which is totally fair.
I would probably go for that.
Yeah. So we see here's Metang.
Cool.
We see Rock Slide, so he goes for the safe play, which again is fine. Nothing wrong with that.
It's fine. At the end of the day, like Metang coming in is pretty useless because you always can come in with Suicune. Oh no, it crit did 20%. Now I get the Ice Beam for free.
Yeah. Which even then, I think going for a Calm Mind was definitely the play because you force Zapdos in. Zapdos is a 64. You don't know it has Rest yet. You kind of want to start to think about, cleaning up the game. You're in a really good position where you just got Suicune in for free.
Yep.
You got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, Will keeping Metang in there for any longer than necessary is a huge detriment.
Yeah. And then going for Surf, you saw the Meteor Mash damage is 20% on a crit. Metang's not staying in. The fact that it, stayed in was crazy. That gamble worked out for Will. But if that's Suicune to click Calm Mind, and if he didn't boom, and Suicune got 2 Calm Minds, this game is done.
Boom does like 50 mat. I'm pretty sure the boom from Matang not banned only goes like 50, 60. It's really sad.
Yeah, but you get a free switch to Zapdos, and that's the more important thing at this point.
True. And here we show Zapdos still not able to break this Chansey down. And that's a problem.
Yeah.
So Chansey gets a free Witch Pass, or it can just do it to itself if it wants, which it chooses to do in this case. But very, very good.
And so I'm gonna set this.
And if I'm Will, like, I'm thinking like, how do I get this Chansey off the field now? And he decides to go into the Tang at this turn and get Seismic Toss for his trouble, which isn't really that good. Like at this point, I feel really on the back foot with Will.
Yeah.
And he needs to do something to get this Suicune out of the way so he can.
Right now, at this point, like Matang, like you're in a position where you need to get rid of Suicune because this is what's going to defeat you. Matang is a liability. Yes, it's your Rock Slide switch, but like if you sometimes you just have to kind of bite the bullet and get this thing down and just chip Regirock a bit so you can hope that maybe you can play into a crit from Arrow with Earth.
Or not even so much if you want to go so brave with that. You can still make double switches out to Zapdos on the turns you think that's, Suicune's coming in.
Yeah.
And that would be a lot more. Because, like, look, you're paralyzed. It's gaining HP on you, and you don't have a switch into a Calm. Like, if you don't switch, it's going to Calm Mind. So. Yeah. Which we see here, I'm actually a little surprised he switched out that turn.
Huge, like, switching out was crazy, because Zapdos also shows Roar here. So now, all of a sudden, we have this phasing opportunity. So, he can't, now Ernest sees, I can't set up Calm Minds on this thing. How am I going to break Zapdos? And then you think, I should have been hitting this thing with +1 Calm Minds, letting it roar me, and then eventually, hoping to God I get Regirock in, and then having to make a play from there. You know?
Absolutely, yeah. 100%. But he keeps switching to Chansey, which it's fine. Just start spamming. I think you just start spamming Seismic Toss and Wish and whatnot, right?
And then Will makes the play goes back into Matang. I like that play.
Yep, he calls out the Regirock switch, but like gets killed for its trouble because that's the good mid ground right there.
There was the mid ground. That was a really good opportunity to do it. Aerodactyl goes down, and right here, this Ernest should clean this game.
Right. But
you would
I'm
think,
also surprised Will didn't go. Yeah, I'm surprised Will didn't go into Zapdos there.
And even more so, I'm surprised Ernest just stayed in.
Yeah, you got a free switch to Suicune
now,
right here.
all of a sudden, your Regirock is dead.
Yeah, unless you guarantee
and you
a
didn't even kill the Matang.
Oh, you do kill the Matang, though.
Well, yeah, but he got full parried.
Yeah, exactly.
And now here's Zapdos.
1-on-3 is this is over, right? Because you just wish stall out the Zapdos with Chansey. It only has Toxic Thunderbolt, so if you look at the Zapdos, it's like PP at the worst. At the worst, you got to keep both of them alive, right?
Yep.
Because you'll never be able to get Toxic with Chansey, and especially now that you're paralyzed, you literally cannot get Toxic.
You literally can't get Toxic. So right now, Ernest has basically won the game. All you gotta do is get your wishes up. You got the wish. Great. If you can get a protect, you're good.
Yeah, if you don't get a protect there, you die, but you can't switch either, so you have to go for it.
Yep. And now you can just sit here, and you can basically stall it, but for some reason we're switching to Suicune.
Yeah, I don't like that switch there, because as much as it sucks to be paralyzed and like you're not winning,
and you die.
Suicune, Suicune's the only reason you're able to like not get Toxic Stand right here, which like, here we go.
Which even then, right? Like, let's think about it from the other perspective. This Chansey's moveset, it has Thunder Wave. Why hasn't the Zapdos been paralyzed?
Yeah, you had time to like work on wish stalling with paralyzed.
Like you
sure, you're not getting the
sat here forever,
Right. But now the Toxic is a little bit rough because you get crit. It's a little rough. Yeah. And this could have all been changed by putting in Suicune earlier and saving the Regirock for later, because now Regirock comes in on this rest here, which by the way, Toxic Thunderbolt Rest 4 is a really funny set. Doesn't even have HP Ice or anything. But yeah, just doing that, and now like if he's asleep and Regirock comes in, just spams the Rock Slide, the game was over.
Yep.
I liked Will's ability to keep his big three alive at the end, but I do think he a little bit of a misplay from Ernest, and he just capitalized well.
Yeah, I think that was definitely Ernest's endgame to lose. Once Aerodactyl went down, letting Regirock go down the way it did was a huge throw, because now all of a sudden it's like you're locked into HP Ghost. It's whatever, but like you need to keep this thing around, because this is your way of actually beating Zapdos, because you cannot 1v1 it with Suicune. We've seen it has Roar, it has Toxic, it has Thunderbolt. You're gonna really struggle to break through that thing. Chansey can hang for a bit, but Regirock is what's gonna push it through. And now Metang is whatever, it can't passively heal. You go into Suicune, you get a Calm Mind. If he booms, so what? Zapdos can't beat Regirock and Chansey together. And then, you know, given how the game went out, when your Chansey was paralyzed, got really lucky, and then when you switched it out, it was done. It's one of those where you got to understand your position. It might not be the most fun and enjoyable, but you gotta sit and play it out, because Will's a player who had to play for you to throw. And then she kind of through the end game, Will was able to pull that game out, and then we could see how that kind of momentum can shift into the next game.
We get a nice. I know everyone was really happy about the 77 turn game. You know, game 1 that was almost a Gen 2 game. So we're really excited to see what the next game brings, and we're seeing the same 2 Mons at the moment come in now. You know, Will's just forcing so you can in with the Meteor Mash there. Going hard Raichu here is pretty cool. I'm guessing it's a Zapdos call out. I like that.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
And then Roselia gets paralyzed, which, hey, we like that, because while it does have natural cure, like, it's not doing a whole lot. And then boom, already doing 50. That's sad. This thing is a little bit stronger than it looks.
Yeah.
So right now I actually liked Will switching out here.
Yeah, I like going into Batang. It's really good mid ground.
And then double switching Slowbro here on, well, and unfortunately it's Raichu.
Yeah, great play there. Great play there. So free Thunderbolt.
Yeah, free Thunderbolt, but that's doing 19. I believe Raichu probably should have HP Ice, but it's probably not going to do enough, so it switches right back to Gengar.
Bailed out by the mist there, which is really nice.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Will is actually not running Stun Spore on this Roselia, so it has no way of getting faster than this Gengar, and gets frozen too, which is pretty funny. And I actually didn't like him staying in here, but gets lucky because he thaws out.
He clicked Thunderbolt, which is interesting because,
you
know, the Roselia is useless at that point. You just kill it.
Well, no. Well, that too, but like Roselia could just switch out and become not frozen due to natural cure. So surprised Will kept it in to die that turn, and then a huge crit there. I believe it did matter. But now with 2 layers of spikes up, it makes that, like, you know, slow end game a little bit faster, which is cool. I know Will would have liked all 3, but he hasn't gotten that yet. So we'll see if he can get it later. And then Chansey comes in, gets nicely toxic here.
And we kind of see this, you know, this slow.
And gets the Roselia in on the Chansey without dying, so he does get his 3rd spike up if he wants it.
Which is interesting. Like, I don't know about going into Raichu here when you could just, again, sometimes you need to secure your kills with your fat walls when you can. Even if you let in, you let in Aerodactyl, you have Protect. You scout out what it wants to do, you go effectively, and now Suicune is crit and it is gone. And
this is the power of spikes right here.
Yep.
Like, okay.
It eases so much prediction.
Yeah, like, okay, and that super power didn't even kill.
Yep.
And now Regirock's gone's like, okay, your 2 best wall breakers are dead, and is it your fault? No, you just get spikes got up.
Yep.
If Roselia died on that turn 3 turns ago, right, and only got 1 spike up, the whole different game.
Yep.
But
that's HP Electric. It's funny.
That's funny. I like that.
Calm Mind.
I think Willard might actually be in one of my top tier NUs. This guy's got the sauce.
He does. Big
Look
crit.
at that.
Big crit.
Oh my god, I forgot he crit. Oh, Will was so sad.
But at this point, like, it really doesn't matter.
Why Dusclops? Oh, he's just trying to stall out the pain splits. That's a cool switch by
I don't
Ernest.
think Ernest can't really break through.
Yeah, I still don't get why not going into Zapdos, though. You're faster than Whaler, just hit Thunderbolt. He's not Scarf Whaler, it's not Gen 4. But you could just boom at any point with Brickulus here.
Yes.
It's a very, very good opening, and I hope he does this turn. No, he's just taking out Willard slowly. Yeah, that's an option, I guess.
Maybe it didn't have boom. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, I feel like it didn't have boom, which is the crazy thing, right?
Oh, this turn. This is boom turn. That's the boom turn.
For Willard?
You have to. You all have another choice.
Well, he dies to Thunderball, right?
Yeah, because it was at like 30%. It can't really come in on spikes and do anything. He's slower than everybody else. You do like no damage to Dusclops.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's you kind of lost all your damaging guys at this point. So his only call would be to boom Zapdos. Oh wait, oh my God, Zapdos was paralyzed. I forgot. Yeah, you could have boomed that turn. Yeah, that should have been a boom. I agree.
Now,
like
look at this.
If he switches into Dusclops here, like whatever.
Yeah.
You've lost the game. And
look at that. That would have just killed if you had done it the first turn.
I can't believe Will didn't just hard switch to Dusclops. I don't know what he was fearing. He is crazy for keeping his Zapdos like this. But hey, the spikes are cool, and actually Aerodactyl not dying to superpower earlier in the game is gonna really matter because now it cleans up. Because now that I kind of think about it, damn. If it was just Dusclops versus Chansey, that would have actually been stupid. I don't think Chansey had a move for it.
Nope. That's a PP stall. Well, no, Curse would have won. Curse would have won.
Oh, we did have Curse. You're right. Yeah. Okay, good.
All right, so
Thank God.
I actually haven't watched this set, so this will be fun. We got Atomic and Bannon. You see Electabuzz and Dawn Fan.
Hey, that's cool.
That's cool. I like it. We're gonna see
the Buzz is a pretty cool lead. He's safe, but Donphan is a nice. I think it was used for anti-Metagross Electabuzz lead, and it kind of worked out. It gets a sub-toxic. That's
like
cool.
Toxic. That's really good.
Yeah.
So let's see. Are we going to see a Zapdos switch? Snorlax.
Okay. Yeah, Snorlax comes in, takes 46. Bro, what are special walls, anyways?
And 62%. That's banded, right?
That's banded, yeah. And Drew not remembering that Snorlax has immunity in Gen 3, so oops. Oopsie.
Shout out Snorlax being faster than...
How's the Snorlax being faster? You're right. But that's a problem, child, so
yeah.
We got a good switch to Sableye here.
We're going to see a knockoff. No, Toxic. Gotta be careful, that's another Guts Pokemon.
Oh, that's a brave Toxic. I mean, knockoff for it is pretty.
You know how we used to say, stop making teams that lose to Rotom Wash? Stop.
Wait. I take it back. Pause the game. That Toxic is based because I'm pretty sure that's got to be banned in Machamp, right? He can't touch you. He's switching out.
True, but like, that's still risky as fuck.
Oh, it's so risky.
Because imagine if that thing bulked up.
Bro, if it was bulk up, I would be shaking in my boots. Yeah. Anyways, here's a Meteor Mash banded doing 91.
Let's go Sableye.
At least he's not banned anymore, right?
No longer banned. So that helps a lot.
Sadly lost his fighting resist. So.
There's Tentacruel, big fire move.
I still think Tentacruel's the best UU in the format. This thing is ridiculously powerful at what it needs to do. For what tier it's in.
Yeah.
Because if that was a pump, the Snorlax is dead, but it's not seem to have pump. So we go boom, and Machamp is dead. And Tentacruel's back, but unfortunately for Bannon, Typhlosion's back, so back to making a hard switch here.
Thunder Punch! Yes!
Thunder Punch, and explodes.
Hold on.
Oh, he's in Blaze!
Blaze range. Blast Burn.
I think the biggest issue with Bannon's team more so was there are 2 water types on Drew's team, right?
Where's Zapdos? Why hasn't he come in yet?
He's here. He should have been here this turn.
Why didn't he come in that turn?
This turn? Oh, no, I agree. He should have come in this turn.
Like, that's another one where it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like, when you have these powerful weapons, why are we not using them? Why are we playing scared? Like, I get the idea of wanting a spike, but like, Salamence is there.
Yeah.
And if you're Zapdos, you speed tie it at worst, right? And you HP Ice and it dies. And what you're gonna worry about Electabuzz? You still have you have Donphan, Omastar.
Electabuzz is toxic, right? Yeah, Electabuzz toxic. He's fine, but
and that was a good
HP Electric Star. Now Star gets Rick Break for 36, and it's not banded, so I know you don't, you're playing around the moves here, but Zapdos is a very, very safe mon to come in on this.
Yeah. We're gonna see.
It looks like Bandon's happy just stacking his Star to put Zapdos down, or put Metagross down, and then goes
into Zapdos.
Yeah, this is the Zapdos turn for sure. That's the Zapdos turn. That's the Zapdos turn because you can't let Donphan come in, right?
Man, what are we doing?
Because I don't know. Now we see HP Ice, about 28.
T-Wave.
I don't think Salamence is here, Matt.
Salamence not here?
I don't think you'll see him.
Well, not in this game.
I don't think you'll see him in either game. I'm not even sure what that 6th mon was.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't believe he ever shows up. But, like, we also see this, right? You, like, knowing Electabuzz getting, Ice Punch, I think you have to either sub or Earthquake first turn. You can't afford the Toxic and lose your Donphan.
It worked the first
turn. I like the sub, because sub, even though it puts you at 5%, like, you do live the Ice Punch and get a sub up, so you force him to switch, right? Mm-hmm. But sadly for him,
all that is banded for Jim.
Yeah, Drew goes for a good double on that, and he goes for Rock Slide. And now look at Sableye getting flinched. Sad. Now it's dead. So if he had a Donphan, right? If you still had that Donphan around to take that rock slide, that would have been cool.
We lived!
Yeah, did you have a Champ's the biggest bird?
Dude, he is the biggest bird. Fuck.
Right. So,
oh my god.
Yeah, we're gonna see some Machamp gaming real fast.
Wow.
Turns out this was a speed tie. I think that's really funny.
That is funny.
But now look at this, right? 3 Mons are dead, one of them being your electric immune Pokemon, one of them being Zapdos, and the other one being your wall. So, yeah, the Buzz gets to kind of have fun here.
Yeah, he's got the Pikmin.
Yeah, you got to spike up.
Wax is here.
Wax is here without, yeah, you get Sea-Wave. Because, like, now that Drew has taken the advantage with his team, it snowballs, right? Metagross, boom, nothing. The Ghost type's dead. Just boom. Yep. Great boom. Fantastic boom.
That's what I'm talking about.
And now all that's left, Typhlosion's the last Mon, so you get Tentacool in, and the game is over.
Gamers, listen to me as I speak.
Your advantage.
You. That's how you do it. That's pushing offensive momentum. Your opponent got on the back foot. They made a couple misplays, and you did not let up a single second. Even if you let your Pokemon die, who cares? You're pushing your offensive advantage into the point where your opponent cannot get out of the corner. And you win easily. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, no stall here. This was over.
Yep. Boom.
This was over as soon as he got. And granted, Drew did get lucky that game too with some flinches, right?
A lot of flinches.
And he did get some nice HP rolls. He made advantage. He made the most advantage instantly. Like he just, and that is his team. Like, it is the way his team is designed in the draft for sure. Like you look at those 4 Mons brought and you go, oh, okay, they're swinging, right?
We're swinging. Yep.
So I get that. It's not like it's hard to not be swinging with these dudes, but it was a nice job, and he never let his foot off the gas pedal. Like he just said, all right, I'm good to go. I know what you're bringing in. I'm setting it.
Yes.
Good job, Drew.
Very well
and
very well done.
Not too bad by Ben. I liked his game 1. Yeah. He had he had a rough game 2 and never got to actually start up. So
I think game 1
that just happens
winnable.
Sometimes.
Get Zapdos in. Get your strong offensive threats in. When you have that free turn, you can push an advantage.
Yeah.
It's sometimes you just need to throw them out there. Sure, they might take some damage along the way. That's okay.
All right, now we got Aaron versus Jordan. Battle of the
Ice Cubes.
I would say Battle of the Ice types. There's something here that I want to talk about. Good getting your spikes up turn 1. Red Ice doesn't really threaten Glalie. I like that. But Aaron running Thunder on his Regice is always going to make me question life.
I don't hate it because Regice doesn't do any damage. I
know. That's why I'm like, is he secretly having the tech? It turns out Jordan actually had the tech and had HP Fire pouring on though, which is hysterical. Because goodbye Fortress, you just don't get to play the game, I guess.
Yeah, and we see.
I like that explosion because now Metachem gets in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And well, if there was a Mon that's come in on Metachem, I do not believe it's a paralyzed Glalie at 100.
Nope.
You know, but gets a cool crit there. That's nice. And turns out the defense boost is not saving Metachem, which is pretty cool. But then, does not get it on turn 3 and gets paralyzed. And that's really bad.
Yeah. And now, as we saw last week,
we're going to see some gaming, aren't we?
It's time.
Except we're not. Haha. Except we are.
Did that crit matter?
I don't think that crit mattered.
I don't think it mattered. DJ Crazy Times didn't need to Shadow Ball anyway.
Yep. Let's see. Reversal.
Go on.
I will recommend to anybody fighting Aaron Reyes, bring a priority Mon at this point. Oh my god, it lived the Shadow Ball. That's so cool, except it's dead.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. Oh wow, pure power. This will happen. Without sand, this will happen to you. It's more likely than you think.
Yep.
There's not a lot you can do. Yeah. You can prep your team to deal with a +1 speed Metacham, I guess. Or Marowak +2 speed Marowak or something. But
it's easier said than done.
It is exactly. There are days where you will just get swept. Now you know that it's going to be there, and you know when it comes in. You know what its job is. It really can't deal fighting damage until it gets to low HP, which will be very nice for you if you have a phaser.
It's true.
We do see Fortress get a spike up. Good job. You finally did it. I think it's been 5 weeks, 4 weeks.
And you
he does it. Oh my god, he does it again. He's so cool. But that being said, Jordan does have a really easy Calm Mind here. I do not believe Fortress is able to do much.
No.
And we see this Ice Beam here, and Metacham gets frozen.
Which is very unfortunate.
And then you switch out? At +1. Okay, you know what? It worked out. It worked
out, but that was a very sus play.
It's frozen. It can't do anything. Just spam Ice Beam, right?
Now we see some Calm Mind Jirachi.
Yeah, we see Calm Mind Jirachi, which is not going to do a lot to Clay at all, except it does, because you got a crit. Jesus Christ, that crit. And I believe Aaron should have a coverage move for it, but sacking your only Mon faster than Jirachi is probably not the wave.
Is not the one to do.
Yeah, if you're going to, like... Okay, you know what? It wasn't a sack, but it was a really risky switch. I'll just say that. Yeah. And here comes Big Stantler. We love him, right, Matt?
Here.
He is the
Jordan's
deer.
Clicking Swords Dance.
Jordan is a brave person. Jordan's brave.
Let's talk to the people.
Yeah.
That's so ballsy.
That's so brave.
But don't ever do that again. Now you're +1 attack.
Yeah, I do believe because you're faster, right? And your Sceptile looks overgrow. I believe the Leaf Blade into the Earthquake kills. So look at that Earthquake damage at a +1.
Yeah, but then you could have just died to a random hit too. You know, it's like...
Right, so Aaron Calm Minding that turn, if you just played Leaf Blade, if you just sacked it by doing Leaf Blade damage and EQ, you would have won. Or just 2 Earthquakes, right?
Yeah.
But the Swords Dance did not save you, sadly. And now we see Fortress get a third layer twice. We love that.
And you know what? It is time for Fortress to explode. See ya.
I think he's going to boom, right?
A lot of boom.
How boom! Well, goodbye, Glalie.
Goodbye, Glalie. Claydol is in, and it is going to spin.
Red Dice is here.
And you know what? I don't think Aaron's going to mind too much. Because, yeah, Red Dice is here, and there's a Blissey. Sure, it's a little spooky. But you know what? Explosion is spooky, too.
I feel like multiple times that Jordan has a Ghost type and does not realize, like, how nice it is to just call it out on a boom. Because, first of all, what is Red Dice doing to Dusclops? Nothing.
Yep.
What is Red Dice doing to Blissey? Only booming. Just get the Dusclops in there, and if it does anything that's not a boom, you're eating the hit anyways. You want that Blissey to be as far away from explosion as possible. If you know that Mon gets explosion, just get it out of there.
Yeah. Especially when you're playing a fat team that relies on the passivity of like the spikes damage, because realistically that is your main damage output with this team. And you need to like kind of understand like, oh hey, if I have Blissey, I'm gonna basically wall everything. If Red Dice explodes, that might not happen. I can't let that happen to me. So you gotta get out of there. Plus, like, even if you didn't want, you know, Blissey get blown up on, or you were afraid to go Dusclops, it's always Porygon, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because, granted, we didn't know Raikou was here. Granted, makes perfect sense. It should be here.
Yeah, good job, Aaron. I'm proud of you for bringing Raikou. You should do this all the time.
Yes. And now, Raikou is the only Pokemon that is alive.
Is Raikou just LARPing Suicune
so he
right
cannot
here?
get roared.
Yeah, I say Raikou's just LARPing Suicune right now. Doing the Calm Mind in the last slot. And there is really no answer here for Jordan. I do like the T-Wave. If you realize you don't have an answer for this, getting anything status-wise is helpful. Because now, look at Aaron rested at 87. That's cool. Sadly, it looks like you don't have a way to deal with it. With Porygon 2, Dusclops, and Blissey, all you can do is Calm Mind War up with it. So this is your answer, hopefully.
Which you can't do very well.
Right. The play would have been to start Calm Minding a lot earlier instead of Pain Splitting on that turn before and praying, I guess. But no, Raikou's just that guy. He's that beast. Generally, when you run bulky walls, you lose to setup sweepers, right, Matt?
Yep.
So having answers for setup sweepers in general, especially in the last type situation, regardless if they're bulk up Metacham or Calm Mind Raikou, right, whatever kind of setup sweeper it is, just making sure you have an answer on the team will go miles. Like it will go so much further. Because Gen 2 into Gen 3 is the time period where all the setup mons, like Suicune and Raikou and Entei, they all did their Calm Mind resting, you know, we're still playing Gen 2 kind of deal, Crocoon, whatever.
The other was still Calm Mind in Gen 2, right?
What's up? Well, they did Curse, right? It was Curse back then.
No, they just ran Rest Talk and didn't do any damage.
Well,
they just sat there
damage. Sure.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's Calm Mind's a Gen 2.
Anyway, we're going to just kind of skip along. Raikou wins this 1v1.
Yeah, Raikou eventually just kills, right? At times
so
4.
Funny.
There was a turn in there where I think it was possible for Jordan to win by spamming Seismic Toss and getting lucky with the Thunder Wave, but I think she hit Self Level at one point.
Yeah.
And like, I'd rather play the 50-50 out of getting the win immediately at that turn than soft load up and just play a game that you know you cannot crit. Like, you only have seismic toss.
Yeah.
You have to just try and get that 50-50.
And you're also on a timer too.
And you're on a timer, yeah, because you know that it was still setting. It was sometime in that skip turns.
Yeah. I
would just say play that out. You know you can tell that's your only out. But anyways, in the game, next game we got Tim versus Dante.
Tim and Dante. Once again,
cool.
we see Quagsire. I think it's time for Quagsire to leave the lead slot.
Yeah, sometimes teams get a little too obvious, right?
Yeah.
Don't let it be you.
Yeah.
And now that rock slide crit actually might have mattered, which is funny.
Yeah, probably.
But like, you have no reason to keep mull traits in on Charizard. It's not doing anything, right? You got answers in the back somewhere, I'm sure. But Tim doing a good job here, just kind of letting Dante
Charizard do damage.
Yeah, just letting Charizard do damage, and Dante is just kind of letting his Mons die, which is not a good thing, right? You want to keep your Mons alive.
Yes.
You want to only really use Explosion on Weezing when you really can't take out the target. And granted, if you didn't know it was going to sub, that's fine. You know, now you got game 2 knowledge. Dang, knockoff did 33 to Alakazam. This guy is not a tank.
No. And we're seeing, again.
Seeing Dante get into his head again. Toxicing things that are already statused, which
I
maybe
think a lot of this
out.
comes to you cannot have multiple statuses on a Pokemon. Dante,
yeah,
you've asked that question before. You've done it multiple times now. You got it. It's some of the things like, you know, we're on week 4. Gotta know that.
I honestly think it might just be time to like mix the team up a bit because you still see it's the same. I believe this is the same team. Now they might have some different moves, right?
Yeah.
But try out some new Mons, mix up the sets on some of your Mons, and you know, get a little unpredictable again. Like the whole reason you did so well game 1, game 2, or sorry, set 1, set 2, week 1, week 2 was because you were being, you know, you're being unpredictable. You're also like like you had a lot of the game knowledge in your head those weeks. This week, I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing things that, like, for example, Seismic Toss counter Blissey. That's super cool, but it's up against a Ghost type. Like, it literally can't touch it.
You can't be
impossible. Yeah, and if you want to come up like building teams like with us again, like I'd be more than happy to help because like I would have told you, oh, hey, this is maybe a good week to try out like Calm Mind Blissey, seeing that it's not, Sableye probably going to be here, and
again, it's just like
so. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's nothing really to talk about here. I think Tim had a nice easy day. He boomed Blissey very well. I like that. Getting Blissey out of the way. Very nice.
So that's the first
nothing
game.
too hard for him. It was good to see.
And we got
Hopefully,
game 2.
Game 2 that goes a little bit easier or a little bit better for Dante. Maybe he wakes up this turn.
Happens. We see the
and goes right to Blissey on Vileplume, which is honestly not bad. You do still have a Venusaur though, so like this is the most free Venusaur counter in the world. You are just better Vileplume. There's no reason to keep Blissey in asleep, leech seated. Like at best, it just you can see way off. Okay. But now your Blissey's at what 30, and it doesn't really do a whole lot in the rest of the game if you just leave it in like this. Because Tim could be going for sleep, but he's not. So.
Because honestly, I think the Sludge Bomb's a little nicer for him.
Yeah, but at some point, Dante, like with leech seed specifically on Blissey, look, it just takes so much HP out of you. You got to get out of there. And Tim revealing superpower on Registeel, which is cool. That implies Banded. We love that.
Yes.
And goes right into Sableye again.
The knockoff.
Yeah, good knock. Turn knock on Quag. He can't do much damage to you, so you get a nice
we
turn
get
there.
Double to Moltres. Hold on. Now all of a sudden.
Double to Moltres. Are we gaming here?
Bit.
But we're willowing. And willowing is not going to be the thing because you already paralyzed that Vileplume. I forgot how much he had already status Mons in this game.
Yep. And we're Will-O-Wisping fire types.
Yeah, you cannot Willow fire types. This is very sad.
Yes. I see all of Dante's Pokemon have a status move. It might be time to ditch that.
And a little bit less status. Getting Alakazam in here.
And just, more
you think Alakazam one-shots Charizard?
Nope.
Not even close.
Charizard's got
Can we get like a 120 base power Psychic move, Matt? Can we get a Fire Blast, but for Psychic?
Don't we have Psycho? No, that's just Deoxys.
No, it's just, right? We don't have that.
Sight, it's close enough.
I guess so.
Anyway, here's our guy, Sableye.
Yeah.
Wall and Blissey forever.
And goes into Weezing, and I think this would be really cool if Weezing wasn't at 9%.
And
that's a huge boom.
It's huge.
All right, hopefully it's Earthquake here, right?
No! What are we doing?
Oh no, he has plenty of the damn Quagsire too. He can make the call out.
I guess protect. Here's comes
you got a sub here?
grass.
Oh, no, it's HP grassing. Okay, yeah.
Sub this turn. Nope.
Yo, is this Quag?
Goodbye,
Damn, he's still
Quagsire.
protecting. Oh, goodbye, Quag. You're not like, it's just not your day,
you're
buddy.
Not him.
You're not him. I mean, you are him though, right? Yeah.
This is funny.
God, does Charizard really not do anything to Blissey? This is
That's
like,
why you run
where's...
Focus Punch.
No, we gotta run Belly Drum on it.
Yeah, there's double
More Belly Drums.
I kind of like. I think that's cool. But,
that is
mean,
neat.
This is...
Yeah, there's nothing else to talk about.
Anyway,
I know Tim. I think Dante did actually forfeit the game around here. Just forgot to close the match. Whatever.
But we're gonna
knowing that he couldn't touch Stabilize. But we'll move on to a much better stuff. Yeah, don't
that's about it,
don't
because,
let it be you.
You know, we love you lots. I don't want to go through that again.
Bro, if we finish this set in a nice reasonable time and catch the second half of the absolutely terrible Giants game right now.
Yes, let's get into it. We got Blaziken and Hariyama lead, a little cross chop action, and we see Blaziken with Salakberry.
Yeah, I believe lead Blaziken on Chris's team here was because he expected lead Hariyama and said lead Hariyama cannot one-shot me, and I can get myself into Slack range without worrying about Dugtrio revenge killing me. Nice. Or just chunk, like, look at that. That's a ton of chunk on the opponent team now. So
no boom.
Good hyper offense lead.
35, and now we can threaten spikes, which I really like.
Yeah, a good spike turn. It's a little unfortunate. I almost wish that he like didn't go into Cloister there so he could really force Vaporeon to not Wish Pass, right?
Yeah.
Because now like all that damage is gone, and I know spikes are cool, but
but I don't.
At least he does that, right? He gets the Hariyama off with a great explosion, and now spike on the field, Vaporeon low, jump off in. This is literally the way to do it. And Corey's on the back foot a bit, going into the correct jump off counter, but we see this. This is silly.
This is tomfoolery.
This is Gen 3 only kind of silly. Where, oh my god, it's jump off Source Dancing. Why?
SD getting kills.
And I know he has to go into Celebi here because otherwise he gets put to bed, right? But I also don't know why he didn't just get put to bed anyways that turn. Yeah. So I would have liked that if I was Chris there.
A little Giga Drain, get the souls back.
Yeah, get a lot of your souls back if you don't, because you get a lot of it. But like at the end of the day, who cares how much you took? You're taking out the Slow King, right?
And I think that's a trade.
That's really way better.
Especially when Tyranitar is around the corner.
Yep, exactly. And right now, this Slow King cannot take an HP Electric. I probably couldn't even take a Surf, so he has to die. Oh, and there's T-Tar.
There he is.
Oh, I bet he'll do something fun and good, right? Yeah, sub. Which, honestly, when I see Hydro Pump here, I keep subbing. I want him to miss. But Chris goes for Earthquake and does not do enough because Omastar is way too good at dealing with physical threats and dies for it. Now we got one Mon left. It's Bandit Dragonite, so he slams. Yeah, he slams HP Flying and dies. Because like, when you know like you're two in the back, there are T-Tar Dragonite, and you know that Dragonite can't change moves. Like just keep subbing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, just keep going for it. Yeah. Or double in the Dragonite on a Hydro Pump because you can definitely take the hit.
So we go into game 2, and then Corey makes this play going right into Dugtrio to get the kill and dies.
Remember, the calculator is a crutch, and you shouldn't use it.
That's not true. Just use your brain sometimes. That was
right. Ballsy. Just use your brain. That's why Drew's 4-0 right now. He's just using his brain. It makes 0 sense to summon Dugtrio there, but hey, you know what? Corey's a good player. He'll bounce, right?
If that Fire Blast had missed, we'd be going, oh, that was such a ball. Daz, even if it did miss and you did live, that's a bad play.
Bad play.
That's bad play. There is no reason. No reason.
The T-Tar got paralyzed. This is so sad.
Yeah.
And Hariyama's actually a full HP, which is really good for this game because looking at Chris's team, it's not worth it. Oh my god, he exploded. Well, okay, he was at full HP.
So all of a sudden, we're seeing a very different approach to this game because we didn't see Doug in game 1, but that threat of eliminating all these Pokemon is gone.
Right. And Chris is brave here. Chris is calm minding in the sand. That's brave.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you have a good recovery move here. So hopefully he's Psychic this turn. That's the play you got to go for, right?
And he does. Makes a good Psychic. Great.
And Sand helps. Love the Sand game to help there. Spike, Sand, Psychic, beautiful.
Yep.
And you stay in, you Ice Beam here for sure.
Yep.
Because you want that Cell to be dead.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, what's Corey's team left of? You just... You know, he's got no switch-ins.
Yeah.
But he could pivot around here until it dies from Sand and Leech Seed, which isn't a terrible play.
Which right now, I feel like 21% it should die to HP Electric.
Right, so
it
does.
Yeah. Blaziken is in. Blaziken is going to do some damage. Everything is.
Yeah, Blaziken without the threat of Dugtrio is so much scarier. So Corey doing a good sack here on Hariyama. I believe that's HP Grass covering from the start.
I would think, yeah.
And now here's where I don't like. I believe Chris sacks his Blaziken this turn.
No.
Okay, no, thank God. Okay, all right. But it is the freest psychic in the world, right? You can go right to T-Tar that turn.
Yep.
And I know it's paralyzed, but like, who cares? It's so free. But Jump Off gets to, eventually put something in bed here, and that's not terrible either.
Yes.
Which now almost starts. So this is where we SD, right? Because we're brave.
No.
And we're just little guys. Oh no, he just Leech Seed.
First turn wake. Very unfortunate.
Oh, that's so depressing. But hey, guess what?
Blaziken is gonna run pretty.
But the biggest difference here between earlier is that Celebi is unable to come in and take an HP Grass, whereas before it could have. So now that it dies thanks to the sand and the chip, and we love spikes and sand. This TSS is a beautiful playstyle that I hate.
How do you hate it?
I like lefties and Snorlax, so I got I got to think about those things. But I do not like that play. That's the play I didn't like. Because the play on Surf is obvious. You have a Cloyster in the back of full HP. You don't have to sack the only Mon that can one-shot Omastar right now.
I thought if he was going for Boom, then that's a fair play.
With Vaporeon?
Boom on Vape?
With Blaziken.
No. I meant with Cloyster coming in.
Cloyster. Yeah. But then if he sacks his Cloyster, he also still gets one-shot by Omastar. Because Omastar runs Ice Beam, takes the EQ, and it's faster than T-Tar because T-Tar's paralyzed. So you have to keep the Blaziken alive.
With Tyranitar plus D-Knight, you should be able to break through this thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. And he is just letting Cloyster go down here, which is, acceptable.
Objectively correct play.
Yeah, don't switch out. Cloyster's pretty useless after this, so.
And
once the Blaziken went down here.
Or just Boom, which
I think HP Grass did more damage. I forgot that Cloyster was faster than Omastar. If Cloyster died there, the game was over, is what I meant to say.
Yeah, regardless.
Because that Omastar can take the EQ from Dragonite, hit Ice Beam, and then it's faster than T-Tar hits Hydro Pump. But gets away with it because Cloyster's a beast, right?
Yes. So game 3.
You won't see him that long. He will be dropped at some point, I'm sure.
And
we see Fire Blast. Cool. Cross Chop. Cool. The biggest difference here is the Cross Chop did not activate Select Berry. Which is strange. Does put him in Blaze range, which is nice. I think we counted that out to be in Blaze range from Cross Chop.
I really like this aggressive double from Corey.
Oh, that was so big. Oh my god, this was huge.
In, now it's like, Tyranitar can switch in, but like 34.
That's a lot of damage. Yeah.
And now the sand is up, which helps you.
Right, and even better here is like, okay, you can sell it, sure, but the problem is if you don't guarantee the kill in this Hariyama, or in this case Hariyama's actually faster, right? Now it's oops. Oh, was it actually?
It was like basically. And then here we go, we see Dugtrio.
Yeah, that's it, right? Now he's too low and he gets dugged.
Yeah.
Nice job, you got dugged. And fortunately for Chris here, he makes a great EQ play.
He does make a great EQ play.
That could have been
but now
later.
Celebi comes in, and Celebi can be an asshole.
Oh, absolutely. T-Tar Gone Celebi is a monster.
Sure, Jump Bluff is here, but this might not have been... Because HP Ice could have just come out and deleted you.
No, it's Fire Punch, I think. I don't think you need HP Ice.
No, it's Ice, HP Ice on Celebi to kill...
Oh, yeah. HP Ice, yeah, right. And HP Ice on Celebi, like it's a Dragonite on the field. It could have hit HP Ice anyways, so that's pretty bold. And now we got Dougie on Slowking, which is funny, because he's got to leave.
See you later. And then big crit.
Huge.
But now Manectric is in unopposed.
Right, and you got to stay in here because you look at your team, you look at Manectric, you go, uh-oh, I don't have a switch out,
it's
right?
Like, I got to eat one.
Right, you have to eat one, and you don't even do half, and that's depressing. Like, that's the power of Manectric, baby.
Yeah, Electric.
But looking at the rest of the team here, right? Like, the only Mon that could potentially take a hit is this Dragonite, and that's very potentially.
Can't do that.
Cannot. Now he's too low. I think he could actually take one at full HP, sadly.
Yeah, I think Jump Bluff need to come in and...
Oh, that turn? Oh, yeah. Jump Bluff is faster, right?
Now Omastar comes in, absorbs the sleep, and now Jump Bluff is useless.
Correct. If Jump Bluff had, like, Giga Drain, maybe a different game, but you can't afford to run all those moves.
And I like the Doug because Doug's kind of done his job, and you can just kind of lock into Rock Slide.
Yeah. Fun fact, that doesn't kill.
Yeah. You get like no HP back from Doug because he's just
not even. No, it's base 20, base 30. It's sad.
Yeah. And now at this point, where
Yeah, Corey did a really good job of picking the right Mon to put to bed because out of all the Mons, he knows that Manectric is the only one that's good, right? And I think the play here for Chris would have been don't leech seed the Manectric, right?
Yeah.
Bring in Blaziken, then sack your Cloister, and then bring back in Blaziken to get back into the Select-Berry range in the sand and hope you just one-shot everything left.
And hopefully
you gotta get crits. You have to get crits, yeah.
Yeah.
But it would have been possible. The Leech Seed hysterically bringing Blaziken out of a potential Select-Berry range, so that's kind of funny.
All right.
But good job, Corey. Good comeback after getting your Celebi knocked off, and that was nice to see.
All right, so our rankings for the week. I was on bye, but
that doesn't stop how good your team is and how good you've been playing.
Play well.
We're about to see a Skarmory Ditto up there next week. Really exciting.
Skarmory Gaming. Brian is back. Is now at 2. Where probably should have been for a little bit. Regardless of Brian's own opinions about his team, he has been playing well. He has been over prepping. Yes, there was the whole incident against Corey's team, but that doesn't stop him from having wins against 4 teams that we think are playoff teams at this rate. So that can't be
I need to get paid for the amount of time I spend in the builder right now. That's all I'm gonna say.
And yeah, Brian puts in the work. He doesn't believe in his team, but he's pulling out games. So it's number 2. Tomic at 3. We finally see a really good win from the pseudo champs.
That was convincing.
Yeah.
That was convincing.
Yeah.
And no doubt in my mind that he deserves his 4-0 record.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because, first of all, let's see Will at 4, right?
Yes.
I think Will's finally getting a little recognition that he rightfully deserves. His Zapdos strategy has been pulling, I don't believe his team was even in the top half of the rankings to begin the season. And now he's back at the top and he gets a huge matchup against Drew. And this will decide, is one of these teams really that good? Are they so good there at the top with you, Matt, with me? And well, no, I think absolutely one of them is going to pop off next week. I'm very excited. And that ends the undefeated teams. There's only 4 left.
Yeah.
And about to be 3 after this week.
Yes.
Minimum,
and then going down to number 5, 6, and 7. We are 3-1 teams. We got JT, Corey, and then Bannon. I think, put Bannon a little high last week just because, I was very impressed with how he was playing, especially being new and competitive and putting together really good performances. JT has just been dominating people.
Yeah, JT, his only loss was to me, and the game that he beat me in was so destructive, I got 6-0'd.
Yeah.
There is, the only reason he is not higher is just because he is not undefeated. I think as it goes on, his team's only going to show up to get better and better.
This is a playoff team. You're gonna get your ass kicked in a game.
Yeah.
It's either you take him to game 3. I think JT has won every game 1 he's played.
Pretty much, yeah.
He comes in with his game plan, he executes it, he kicks your ass. It's on you to adapt to win or lose. And I think that alone is incredibly strong. Because we look at let's say Corey number 6, right? Corey goes to game 3 a lot. I know it's only 2, but he did play Joel before he left.
2 game 3s, I see now.
Which was also a game 3, and he's clutching it out. His team's very diverse. It's the strongest team on paper. There's so many different options. Definitely some choice paralysis sometimes, but he plays well.
A little secret, Matt. He was talking to me about his free agency. No, don't worry, this is open. But he's like, man, guys, I really just can't feel how I can fit Dragonite on my team. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, brother, how good is your team when you can't even find a way to fit him on it?
Yeah, right.
But I think he's getting Doug Trio a little bit better, especially in that game 3 versus Chris.
Yeah.
And that's going to pay off in spades. Mm-hmm. And look, he's 3-1. He's doing a great job, and it's only going up from here.
Yeah, for sure. And then, talking about Bannon, he's playing well. His teams are solid. He definitely could have pulled out that game 1 by utilizing Zapdos and positioning a little bit better. But
right. This was a hard week, and I don't think the drop in the rankings is any indicator of that he's not playing well.
Yes.
Like you said, Drew's team is just pretty brutal.
Yeah, I think it's
and
less,
I think Matt and I maybe ranked it a little.
Yeah, we ranked it a little high last week, so the drop is more significant. And then we have Hall at 8. Hall with his first, I guess, disappointing showing of the season. Has very consistently been a high performer. But again, his team's still solid. Doug Trio is strong.
Doug Trio Gaming. It's going to get you.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's going to get you so well that we even saw Diglett Gaming in our 9th spot. Because Adam has now, in this top 10 with only 1 win, just with how nice that game was against David.
Because he has gone to 3 game 3s.
Yeah.
And he is probably the hardest scheduled thus far. And he has been taking all of these difficult opponents to game 3s. And I think that is incredible, especially with the significant glaring weakness to Electric. Like, honestly, just Adam's been playing well, and he just won a set with Pikachu, and that's cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So at 10, 11, honestly, you can flip-flop, but I think David's at 10. You did get grouped by Pikachu, which is funny, but again, his team will click eventually. I think this is a free agency revolution team.
Oh yeah, for sure. The minute this team hits free agency, it's going to get way better.
It's one of those things where it's like, I feel like Tyranitar is doing more harm than good to his team.
Yep.
And honestly, like,
might be worth looking at some. Yeah, the team needs to pivot around that more. Like, use that sand. Don't take the Mons.
Yeah.
Like, I know that Calm Mind defense this weekend set's really, really good. And a lot of weeks it's going to do fantastic work. But in the sand, it's going to get hurt. Maybe there's other ways we can kind of revitalize some of the Mons before free agency and try to attempt to abuse the sand with it instead of kind of just building these more standard sets that don't enjoy the sand. Get
creative with it,
And I don't think his team is bad. I mean, it's definitely got a few weaknesses, just like Adam's, but he's playing it well, and he has 2 wins. And when your team is bad and you have 2 wins, that feels you got to feel good about that.
Technically, it's 1 because the bye week we are counting as a win. So
you are right, but he has on. He's got the. I think he's fighting well, and he's got
He's putting in the effort to it. It'll come. Yeah. It's just the team it's slow. And
he just kind of he got hit by Dig Pika. Like, okay, doesn't happen to everybody.
And then
Tim at 11.
Yeah, Tim at 11. I mean, Tim plays well. I think Tim is the line for like the playoffs. Like, I think Tim definitely has a very good shot at playoffs. It's like, if you consistently, I don't know. I don't think the Tim line is a thing.
No, but look at his game loss record, right? He's 5-5 on his win losses in games like that. He's bringing it to people. He's getting the dubs even on weeks where he's losing. He's getting a dub here and there. So it's implying that he understands his team.
And he's not just bending over and just losing. Like, he's putting in an effort in every single week. And
right. I mean, it's always going to go far. And he's got a tough schedule coming up. He's got the Adam Gauntlet right now, so he's going to have to pull out some big team building ideas, I think.
Yeah.
Mess around. I think his team might be one of the only teams I think is a little underexplored still.
Yes.
So I'd like to mess around with that some more.
It might be hard because building with us sometimes we throw out a lot of ideas, and if it's hard to grasp, then that could be tricky. I think there's a lot of cool little things that this team can do. And hopefully we see it explored. And then Ernest at 12. I think Ernest is a good player. I think this last set he definitely got in his own head and was trying to.
He had a good show. He's had a good showing almost every week.
Yeah.
It's just unlike some of the other good showings. They've just been landing him in the wrong column. I think a lot of his games have gone long, and that sometimes can make him break. And games are tough.
Yeah.
And now look at our new 13th player up here. Whoa, big Aaron.
Aaron up just because he brought Raikou, and he brought a team that it worked.
He brought Raikou, and he won. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, I know. Bringing good Pokemon will let you win games.
Wow, shocker! And honestly,
also consider trading for Gengar. That is all.
Oh no, you're spitting.
Yeah.
And then Ethan, I thought Ethan had a good week this week.
Ethan's getting it. I see the gears turning. They're coming. I think relying on Baton Pass is going to bite you in the ass, but he's starting to come out of just doing Baton Pass. He's trying other things. It'll come.
Yeah, he's finally realizing how good Clamperl is. Yeah, all those things.
It might be one where free agency, you get rid of some shitters, you drop a little bit of the funny ha-has, and get some more consistent options, and I think you'll see your creativity actually explode. Because when you have something stable, you can get creative and do other things. Because if your fun plan doesn't work, you have a solid backbone to rely on. And I think that's a pretty good one to look at. And THT 15, he's so close. He's so close to being like there, but
I know Chris is, and he's a gamer. He'll do it.
It'll come.
But he definitely is in the spot where, like, you look at those game win losses. That's 4-7. That's a lot more than some of the other teams down here.
Yeah.
But like, man, his team has synergy issues.
There's a lot of
no matter what
issues.
you do, like, no matter how much you're a gamer, that's gonna hurt. So like, this might be the biggest, like, man, you're gonna struggle until you fix some of those team flaws. Like, and until then, I'm sure he'll pick up a few more wins, but it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Or at least it's gonna require quite a lot of creativity, which is hard to do, especially on a T-Tar team. But I think he's got a lot of fun lined up. So much T-Tar potential still to unlock in that team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we have Jordan at 16. Please build your own sets, and it'll work really well. Come in, hop in the builder. Let's cook up some stuff.
Yeah, it's just for both of them. And I actually believe Jordan and Dante play each other this week. If I recall. Let me go check. Oh, no. Jordan's on a bye. Jordan gets a bye week. But yeah, take a little bit of time. Maybe take the week to plan up for your week 6. You know, get some ideas cooking, because I think that team is. I know you had like an off week, and for Dante too. Like, you know, you've been using the same 6 over and over again. We've got 12 Mons, and we've seen Mons like Diglett even just this week go crazy. Like you take a little bit of time and see what your opponent's got ahead of time, and we'll custom tailor some stuff out. Even if you don't even want to bring it anybody, you want to do what Ethan's doing and just bring your own style of it, that's fine. I would just recommend mixing a bit more, like taking a few minutes, or even just asking someone to help you out if you don't have the time that week.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's our rankings. Our week 5 has already started.
Yeah, no, it has. And it's going to be we're gonna be doing these on Sundays from now. So guys, please make sure you finish your games by Saturday. So Matt can make me do the PR Sunday morning so I don't miss the Giants games. Thank you.
It's not my fault. I thought the Pats played at 1.
Oh, bro, I don't want to watch this game. It's 33-0.
I don't even know if you won to. This might have been a better use of your time.
It honestly was, but I'm gonna go make sure Will's okay.
You want to know what's more upsetting? Graham Gano's missed 2 field goals.
No, one of them was blocked.
Oh, sure. But like,
that counts as a miss though, which is depressing.
I have on my work league, I've put up 160 points because I have the 2 Tyreek stack.
Oh, that's
and
not
I also
cool.
have the Giants or the Dallas defense.
Oh no.
And the best part is, I had T. Higgins. And
that's
he
what Will
scored 0
said.
points.
He really scored 0 on 8 receptions. Absolutely.
0.
Like, how? Sorry, 8 targets.
It was raining. Anyway. Brian and I are gonna go talk about football now. Have a good time. Have a good day. We'll
see you guys in
see
week
you guys
5.
next time. Bye bye.